And we're rolling. Welcome to the Grease Stain Cinema, where we like our popcorn greasy and we like our movies sleazy. I'm your greasy host, Clint, and I'm joined here with a very special guest for a very special occasion. We have podcaster, writer, wrestling enthusiast, uh, pasta connoisseur, and general overachiever, Josh Wynn. How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm pretty good. Um,
Pasta and loser.
I pasta connoisseur. That's right. Um, so thank you for coming on. You have been very kind and gracious to me. You've invited me onto your show twice, and I felt it was time to return the favor. You said something that kind of stuck with me on our last talk. Um, um, Not word for word, but in essence, not only should we support the indie community, but we should also support this select podcasting slash YouTube community that we belong to. Did I get close? Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close.
um,
You left
okay.
out I know pretty good. You're good. You know.
So
Yeah. Now there's I meant it too. Like, everyone should support everyone, but this community is just kind of, it's growing, but not as fast as most people would
yeah,
think.
and I think it's cool that there's so many of us out there who are trying to highlight all these projects and you know get more people looking at these projects and it's really uh, that's kind of like I feel like it's a common goal for all of us where we just want more people to see this stuff and enjoy it as much as we do. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time we talked, you said I should definitely see Anna Key, and I did.
Yeah. What'd you think of that?
Excellent movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
It
Good.
was a great movie. Phenomenal. Acting, directing, all of it good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know what to expect going into that, and I don't know if it threw you as well as you went through it.
Yeah, it definitely did. Uh,
Yeah.
I got a kind of a backstory on why that movie to me was so good, but I'll explain that a little bit later, I guess.
Uh, well, you can do it now if you want. I mean, what does Anna Key mean to you?
So the lifestyle that she had in that movie, I lived. I was an alcoholic for quite a while, and
Really?
not a lot of people know this. So this is an exclusive for some people, and I used to be an alcoholic so bad that it was Jack and Jim morning, day, night. Didn't matter if it was breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and anything in between. And it took the will of a very strong woman, my wife, to pull me out of that darkness. And that's why I kind of resonate with that movie just a little bit.
Wow. Well, that is an exclusive. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah, it's one of those things that I mean, we're so used to um, hearing about that struggle that we kind of like get a little bit desensitized to like what that is really like and how hard it can be on someone's life and their relationships and stuff like that. So I mean, hey, I'm glad you found a reason to break that habit and basically recover. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, um, I commented on this before. Actually, you commented on it too. Your show is pretty bare bones. But it almost has like a raw quality to it. That's cool. I mean, I'm not picking on it. Your format, I feel, allows you to have like real conversations and like quick production time. So I mean, you can have an interview uploaded onto YouTube in like 20 minutes after it's over. Um, so where would you say that decision came from?
All right. And this ain't a knock on anybody who, does things their own way, but I've always been the type of person that if I'm having a real conversation with somebody or kind of getting to know somebody and stuff like that, I feel that every word, even if it's a messed up word or a word that, people don't use a lot, I believe every word should be able to still be seen. And when I decided to start doing the podcast, I was like, I got to stay true to who I am. My life don't have, and again, this ain't against nobody, but my life don't have edits. Therefore, I won't edit.
I got you. That's
But
cool.
I'm sorry. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I do get editing. I do get editing is a good thing because you can do certain things or you can make people look different in a different light and stuff like that. And that is awesome. But that's just my own preference.
Right. Well, I'll put it this way. I enjoy the editing thing because sometimes when I go back and look at what I've done, I'm like, oh my God, why did I say that? That was really stupid. And then I'll just cut that out. It's usually for me where I'm trying to take out something that I said that I was like, nope, that's got to come out. I'm glad I wasn't live when I did that. But I've also had in the past where like, I had somebody say, hey man, I sneezed at one point during your show and I think I wiped my nose. Is there any way you can like take that out? And I was like, sure. And then I had to go back through the whole footage and find it. And then I was like, oh, here it is. And I didn't even take it out. I just covered it. I put a picture over top of it so you could see it. It was kind of fun. In a very real sense, that's where my whole putting pictures up thing came from.
Oh yeah. Like I am now famous for my pasta bowl eating skills.
Exactly. Oh, believe me, that's gonna be in here. That's gonna be in here.
Yeah. No, I want to say that your show, like I've watched pretty much every one of your episodes, and I've been listening to that other horror podcast at work.
Oh,
bro, you're phenomenal. And I would take my hat off to you, but it's a bad hair day because I'm bald. So it's just.
I get it. Well, I appreciate that very much.
I love it's all respect, man. So
thank you much. So I'm gonna take a play out of your book. Let's go back to the beginning. Have you always lived in Michigan?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. And I've heard you say on more than one occasion that you grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. Can you describe kind of what your early life was like?
So I grew up in Southwest Detroit, and in the time that I was a child going into a teenager, it was so gang infested, drug infested. I mean, they say they're cleaning it up now, but I refuse to go back there. I'll never forget where I came from though, because it made me who I am. But at the end of the day, getting jumped by 20 people first day of junior high school because I didn't look like, I belonged. Getting jumped first day of high school because people thought I was cocky. I mean, the thing is at the end of the day, the wrong side of the tracks could be for anybody. But when I say Southwest Detroit, I got the scars that prove it. I got the memories that prove it. But the best thing about growing up on the wrong side of the tracks is I broke a stereotype to where you can be raised in a hostile environment and still grow up to be a well-rounded individual who has respect. So my mom taught me right.
Agreed. Well, that's kind of the impression that I get. I mean, you've been pretty cool to me, and you seem to have a lot of respect for people in the industry, and you can't have a show like this and talk to all these different types of people, and have them come back without having some level of decency and respect.
Agreed.
Hats off to you, sir.
Well, all right. You get to see the crystal ball.
All right. Can I Can I ask what changed? I mean, how did you escape that and build a new life?
So I met my ex-wife. We lived in Detroit, and that didn't work out. Hence, ex-wife. But anyhow, what
Well,
changed it was is
been
my
there.
wife. Huh? Oh,
Said I've been there.
no, yeah. Uh, so I met my wife that I'm with now, and she grew up in Howell, and like she grew up in all the nice neighborhoods and stuff like that. And my mom was sick at the time, and she decided 3 months into knowing me, she was going to quit her job and help take care of my mom against me telling her not to do that.
Wow.
And she did that. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of put a big like burden on my wife because I told her if we're together for 10 years, we'll get married. You know, who puts that kind of, like timeline on something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And 10 years, one day later, we got married. And then we moved out of Detroit because I'm not going to let her live there. Our life is going to start new outside of Detroit. That's what made me change.
Wow. Well, I think I get it now. You found a good one. That's good. That's awesome, man. I'm proud of you. Happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, don't get it twisted, though. She does call me every name in the book.
Yeah, from what you've said, I'm pretty sure that you've earned those names.
Agreed.
All right. So, when did you make the decision that you wanted something more and you're like, I want to try YouTubing or podcasting? And how did you start?
So, as you mentioned earlier, I'm a wrestling enthusiast. So, art enthusiast, however you say that word.
Yeah.
Had some friends who were doing a wrestling podcast, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to come on and just talk wrestling with us?" One, sure. Went on their show. I think I was on there for 5 minutes, and then next week they called back and said, "Hey, man, our show spiked when you were on there. Do you want to come back?" I was like, "Oh, you're blowing smoke up my butt." So I was like, "All right, cool." Went back, and it just became an everyday thing, or well, an every week thing with being on a wrestling podcast, and that's where I got my start. So a wrestling podcast.
Okay.
Wrestle Talk in a D.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Does it still exist? Is it out there for people to find?
It is out there. Just go to Blog Talk Radio. Two of the founding members are still doing it. They took a hiatus because they, personal life issues and stuff like that. But they're back. I'm happy they're back. But I'm the type of person, and I hope no one takes this the wrong way. I'm the type of person that you can never go backwards because then you're not going forward. Because
right.
I have been asked, "Hey, do you want to come back?" And I'm like, I got to keep it moving forward. So,
yeah, for sure.
That's the overachiever in me.
How long you been a wrestling fan?
Since I was 5. First match I saw was Hulk Hogan versus the Missing Link at the Michigan State Fair. I was hooked since then.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So, did you have guests on your wrestling podcast? If so, who was your favorite guest?
We didn't. Well, they had guests, but I wasn't on the shows when they had them because I was either working or doing something else. But we did have people who imitated wrestlers come on, and
okay.
One man named Macho Ghost was like he loved Macho Man so much that he that's his persona. And you know who Macho Man is, right?
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
All right, so he does oh yeah, like you just did. So Macho Ghost was like, hey, let's have a contest. Who can see oh yeah, who can say oh yeah best? And I was like, oh come on, man, you do this for a living. I just sit here and I'm like, eh. So they kind of talked me into it, I guess you can say. But we had a contest to see who can say oh yeah the best.
That's cool.
So, I didn't win though.
That sucks. So I decided to go digging through your old YouTube channels, and I found this thing where it seemed like you were attempting to make like a TikTok video, and that just happened to be the one chip challenge. And at first, it kind of looked like it was going okay, but then towards the end of the video, it seemed to go sideways. And I was wondering if you could describe that experience for me.
Coming out of me like lava.
All right, I'll walk you through it. My wife bought the chip a week earlier and was like, we're going to do this. I was like, who? She wakes me up a week later at 10 a.m. and says, time to do the chip challenge. I was like, I just woke up. What are you talking about? So you want to talk about pain. Are we allowed to cuss on this show?
Oh, yeah.
I would rather be kicked in the balls 10 times than ever do that challenge again. I mean, it felt like it felt like I swallowed fire and it just wouldn't go away. And I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm drinking this big ass glass of milk and it's coagulating as it's going down and it's getting chunky. And I'm like, oh, this is yeah.
God damn. Yeah, I've seen people do that and it looks brutal. Yeah. Brutal. Yeah. So I've thought about doing it before, but I was like, no, there's no way. Anything over 1 million Scovilles, and I know I'm gonna be miserable as hell. And that's what, like 2 or 3 million?
Oh yeah. I'll make you a deal. If you ever decide to do it, we'll go on NC-17 or your show, and I'll do it with you. And then when you feel my pain, we can say we did something together that no one else is going to do.
I'll get back to you on that.
That's a no.
How did your show transition into what it is now?
So at the time of Wrestle Talk and the D, there some of the people, because there was 5 of us, 4 of us, and then a 5th one just came on every now and then. They were wanting to take a time off, and obviously the overachiever in me is like, I can't take no time off, so I got to keep going. And I was like, all right, so we got to change it up, because I was still going to be on this person's platform, but this person doesn't enjoy horror movies. And I'm like, okay, now I have to go off on my own, all due respect. So we changed the name to NC-17. Lisa joined, me, Lisa, and Kayvon at first, but then it just became me and Lisa. And it's been going forward since then. I hope we continue to go forward for as long as we can. For as long as I'm entertaining people and people are being entertained, I'm good. So
fantastic. So you do get a lot of guests on your show. Is there any particular process that you go through to pick a guest?
For a minute, I'm very picky with who I have on the show, because in the beginning I had, like, my very first interview ever was with Jessica Carter, who's a cover girl for Maximum Magazine and Inks Magazine, and I was at Motor City Nightmares. But then I also met Drew Fortier, musician, director, actor, and interviewed him. And then it kind of just went to, why am I being picky? This is a world full of people who, one, may not be known by others, or two, may not have the opportunity to come on any podcast. And if the show I do kind of helps promote them up there and get them out there more, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious if it had anything to do with like the types of movies that you watched, and you just said, "Hey, I really like this. I want to get that guy on the show and talk to him," because that's kind of what I do.
Like, I go through different ways of talking to people, but podcasters that want to come onto the show, I seek them out because, one, again, if we're not each other, I mean, then why are we doing it? Because at the end of the day, we all want to be a community, and we all have to be able to, not have to, but we all should be willing to talk to anybody, especially fellow podcasters and stuff like that, because we're only lifting ourselves up in a way that I think is the most respectful way of saying, hey, man, I like what you do, and I want to be a part of that journey with you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. We got to stick together on this for sure. So, do you have any goals for your show in the near future? Like I can't wait until I'm able to get this type of guest on, or something to that effect.
I have goals, but I don't have like out of reach goals, because at the end of the day, if I never reach those goals, I'm only upsetting myself. So I kind of take it day by day. There is one goal. There's two people, bucket list people. I don't care if they say they can do the show at 5 a.m. I'm waking up and I'm skipping work. I don't care. That is Linnea Quigley, who is my number one screen queen of all time. And then
Okay.
Felissa Rose. If any one of them said, hey, I would love to be on your show, sign the dotted line. I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've heard me talk about my former shows before, and I could tell you it is tough to do. But my first co-host just kept at it. He was one of those guys that, I don't know, he just kept hitting people up on Facebook and whatnot, and we'd go see them at shows and stuff like that. And I think we got Felissa on the show one time, and we got her for like 20-25 minutes. I mean, that was really cool. It's still out there. If you ever want to see it, I'll send you the link.
All right.
Yeah. So it can happen.
Can I ask you a
It can
question?
happen to you. Yeah.
So, what are your goals for your show?
I really feel like my goals for my show are to continue talking to interesting people and supporting the indie community, and kind of just figure out how to make my show a little bit more likable, and maybe get a few more subscribers on it, and like feel like I'm doing it, for more than just myself. Because like the way it is now, I kind of, I'll start off with a handful of views, and then like maybe a video get up to like 70 or 80 views, and it kind of just plateaus there. It'd be cool to like have people who want to interact with me, you know what I mean, other than just my guests.
So when we transitioned, hi, before I even go there, when I was doing the wrestling podcast, it was getting 20, 30 views. That's it. Every week. Just that many. And
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. As long as I reach one person, I'm happy. Yeah. But when we went to NC-17, for the first half year, we had one view for every episode. One. And I just kept going and going. And then once I started hitting my stride, because my show has a lot of different things. I mean, we got unboxings, we got mystery box movies. I mean, we've done everything, but it really didn't start taking until February 15th of this year.
So it does happen. Could you tell me about the NC-17 awards? What made you decide to start doing that?
I'm glad you asked, because no one has ever asked me this question. I see the Oscars and the all these movie awards, and I'm like, you got all these great cool. You got all these great cool, but for the independent scene, yeah, you got some award shows, but most of the people, especially some of the people who get nominated for NC-17 award, some of them don't get the credit for what they do. They do phenomenal work. So me, Lisa, and a couple other people, we decided one day we're just going to start doing the NC-17 awards. At first, it was going to be a yearly thing. So last year and then this year, or last year and then the year before that. But then all of a sudden, it was like, wow, we got bombarded with so many new movies, especially on the independent scene. And it's like, well, now, why don't we break it up into two? We do one halfway through the year, then one at the end of the year. So then everyone has a chance to have some nominations. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some movies that will never get nominated just because they're not that good. No offense to anybody. This ain't the Razzies. We won't do that. But with the NC-17 awards, we also take it a step further because we award podcasters. We award people. Like, we're just now, for the first time, we got the Jussie L. Green Icon Award. And Jim Crut is the recipient of that one. And we do a cosplayer who some people automatically get the award. And just so everyone knows, if you send a movie and we watch it, it is in consideration of getting a nomination. And awards do get made. I have a box of awards right there that still need to be sent out. And I can literally show you what the awards look like if you want me to.
Wow. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see it. Nice. Wow. Is that like etched onto like a piece of wood?
Yep. Yeah. It may be generic, but it's still an award, and trust me. I mean, this one's actually for Best Actress last year, Sasha Graham for Trivial, which was a phenomenal movie.
I saw that movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She did some fucked up shit.
You got that right. She was great. Hey, I'd watch a game show that she hosted.
Hell yeah. But with the NC-17 awards this year, it wasn't just one podcast that actually got the award. So you will be receiving an award, and so will Horror Madness. Both you guys, when it comes to podcasters and cosplayers and stuff like that, if there's more than one that we like, they both or all three in some cases will get an award. But that's just because it's a different kind of thing for podcasters and cosplayers, because podcasters, we do what we do. Cosplayers, they do it. Well, some cosplayers do it for a living, so I'm never going to knock nothing on that one.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I thank you very much. I'm honored, sir. I will accept it, and I'll send you an acceptance speech or something.
Yeah, it's those awards will be taking place on the 21st.
Fantastic. Is that I'm not sure how you run that thing, but I'm sure I'll find out when I start seeing updates on it. Said I'm not sure how you run those. I mean, is this something that you record ahead of time, or do you go live?
we record them ahead of time, and for this year, we're actually having everybody who is nominated, if they want to, they don't have to. This year, if they're nominated, everyone can kind of give an acceptance speech and just send it in to us, and then post it if the post it for themselves, after the awards. Because at the end of the day, it's like we want people to be recognized. It's going to be a mass Zoom, so whoever wants to join, I can have upwards to 100 people. Whoever wants to join can join. But the people who win, pretty much, if they want to, they can send in an acceptance speech, or in Jesse's case, wants to something for the Jesse L. Green Award, he can do that, saying, giving it to Jim Cut and stuff like that. I mean, we're opening it up differently this year, and then maybe for the second one this year, we'll go live, because there's just too many hiccups that can happen when we're doing a mass, like, so many categories.
Yeah. I think the Jesse L. Green Icon Award is pretty cool. Where did you get the idea for that?
So I'm talking to Jesse L. Green, and the dude's phenomenal. I mean, he's been doing this for so long, and I have the utmost respect for him and everything he's done for the genre, for the independent film world, period. And he had a tumultuous year last year. I don't really want to go into it. I think, pretty much a lot of people, if not everybody, already knows. And the thing is how do you show somebody the respect and the accolades? Not only do you put him in categories where he can win an award, but you name an award after him. To me, that would, if someone said, "Hey, Josh, I want to name an award after you," I'd be like, I'm honored, flabbergasted. And so having a talk with Jesse and we kind of came to the conclusion that, we're both on the same page with it. And I'm grateful that he said yeah, and I'm forever eternally grateful just to have him in my life as a friend and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's really cool. I watched that interview you did with him, and I guess I didn't realize before that he was in wrestling, and I guess you guys really seemed to bond over that, and that was pretty cool. I learned a lot about him on that interview you did, so I'm glad you put that out. That was awesome.
I don't think I did my "oh yeah" in that one. I'm not going to neither. That's only for me.
Yeah, no, I don't think you did either. Jesse's really cool, and he's been doing the indie thing for like a really long time. I don't know. I've seen him in probably like 20 or so different projects. It's like I'll just be watching something, not expecting to see him, and then up he pops up again. I'm like, holy shit, there he is again.
One thing that surprises me about the independent scene, and I know you've seen some episodes, so you know where I'm going with this. Hollywood and independent, if this was a boxing match, Hollywood would be laid out right now. Just saying.
Yeah, I feel that way too. There's something that's really cool about the indies community's ability to like just band together, and all these people who have like a joint love or obsession in some cases with making movies. They figure out how to do it with almost no money, and they just get people who have some real talent who love working on stuff. So it's like it's freaking amazing the quality of what you could see in some of this stuff with these people who are just making it for the love of making it. It's cool. It's awesome. All right, well, Ed. And I just want to say one other thing on the Jesse L. Green Icon Award. I did watch that live that he did where he came on to talk about like his health status and how touched he was that there was an award that was named after him, and that he felt like the only person that he could possibly nominate, this time around was Jim Crut. And as soon as I heard him say that, I was like, I couldn't agree more. I mean, Jim Crut has been a staple in this industry for years now, and it's well deserved. I'd love to see that guy recognized a little bit more. He's great.
I'm glad you said that. So for everyone who's going to see this and everyone, just in general, the Jesse L. Green Award has nobody else but Jesse L. Green giving, like, he names who wins it. That's the way it's going to be. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because you can't have an icon award in someone's name and not have that person be able to pick who they want to have that award.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to do that. And that way, you're not just randomly choosing somebody that you would have. You've got somebody who's into industry, who's got all these relationships. He's worked on all these different projects, and he sees and appreciates, people who work in these movies. And he's like, you know what, that guy really deserves it, or that woman really deserves it. And just, yeah, that's a really cool. I like the way that works. All right. Well, what do you say we talk about Not There for a little bit?
You can do that.
All right. So out of nowhere, I just saw you start throwing up a poster for this movie that you've got going on. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? And and then we talked about it, and then you described it as a supernatural slasher. And I just wanted to ask, I've not seen a lot of movies that I would consider to be supernatural slashers. A couple come to mind, but I was wondering, are there any movies that you can cite that helped inspire this project?
I was asked this question originally by somebody else, and I had 3 movies that I was like, cool, cool, and cool. But then kind of going more deeper into it, there was definitely other movies that had more of a reference in this, like Shocker, Wes Craven's Shocker.
Okay.
That's the supernatural part. But the supernatural slasher that I like the best, that kind of encompasses what this is The First Power with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, okay. Okay. I since you like supernatural slashers, I can make a recommendation for you. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Maybe you have. I have this Canadian friend that I talk about all the time. His name's Ryan. We call him Canadian Boy Ryan, but he, on that other horror podcast, well, maybe you listened to the episode, I don't know, we did Superstition from 1982. Have you ever seen it?
I actually have not. Look at you stomping me. I've never seen that movie. Wow.
It's a pretty cool 80s movie. It feels very 80s. And I can tell you this, there is a kill that is really good that I don't think I've ever seen anywhere before, and it involves a microwave.
See, now I'm going to go out and buy it right after this episode.
Okay. Well, if you hate it, I warned you.
All right. No. I don't hate movies. Sometimes I just don't like them.
I got you. It's really weird. It was one of those just slept on movies that it came out, and I guess it just didn't get a very good I don't know. It just didn't go very far. Yeah, I think he found it in a video store, and it's been on his mind ever since. And he continually tries to get people to watch this movie, and that's exactly why we talked about it.
All right, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna give it a review.
Sounds awesome. So, how did the idea start for Not There?
I see so many movies a year, and I'm like, that element will be good with that element and stuff like that. And I was just sitting at work when I worked at a parking garage. I was sitting in the office one day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write a movie just out of nowhere. Started writing it, And then everyone was like, "Well, what's it about?" And I was like, "Well, it's a supernatural slasher." "Well, what's it called?" And I'm like, "Well, right now it's untitled." And they were like, "Oh, okay." Didn't believe me, so kind of just started writing a lot, got a majority of it down, and then I was like, "Jesus, now I gotta." The way we came up with the name is the original ending. Now, this is
Okay.
something I'm gonna give you an exclusive that no one knows. Oh yeah. So some people are gonna hate me because I don't care. But I was originally writing the script, and I was like, I had a clear-cut vision how it was gonna end, who the main villain was. I got about halfway through it, and I was like, well, that's not gonna work. Now I have to change the ending because someone else is gonna be the villain. And I was like, Jesus, how did I not see that? I was like, it wasn't there. And then I was like, oh shit, now there's the name, not there. And that's how I came up with it.
Nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Now I got something to work with. Um, so you said you've gone through a couple of rewrites now, and that you had to expand the idea. And then at some point you decided that you just weren't going to be satisfied with one film. Um, what made you decide that it needed to be a trilogy?
So I see a lot of people who are getting their first starts in making movies, and whether it be acting, directing, writing, or what have you. And I was like, how do I break that mold? Everyone's like, you got to start with a short film. You got to start with this one thing: solo, solo, solo. I've always been an overachiever, so I was like, I'm making this thing a trilogy.
Okay.
And by the way, my wife calls me overachiever not every now, but every day now, because she has seen the episode where you said that. So
You're welcome.
that word is infamous in this house.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I can't even remember if I wrote that down. I might have just threw it out.
Your post eulogy was really good, but you did just throw that out.
All right. So, what would you say are your hopes for this project?
As a movie fan, I always hope when I'm watching a movie it's going to be good. Good beginning, middle, and end. My hopes for this is the same way going into it as a fan. I would like other fans to be able to see this feature and say, he had a good beginning, middle, and end. But the other hopes I have is that for anyone who's involved with this film, I want longevity for them, whether it be behind the scenes, on camera. I want the longevity for everybody who's involved with this, because they're taking time out of their life to help bring my dreams to life. And if I can have just a minute part of their success and helping them have longevity, then I'm happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I think in the end, it sounds like you're hoping to make a movie that you would watch, and that you would like it to be something that the actors are happy that they worked on. And beyond that, it wouldn't hurt if it got a small following, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it would suck if we make the movie. It would suck if we make the movie and I didn't like it. I'd be like, damn, I don't have a good beginning.
Yeah. That's right. You wanna have a movie in the end where you could sit there and look at it and say, "Hey, that's mine. I did that."
Oh
yeah. So, well, that's good.
I do have an exclusive. I'm
What?
sorry. I do have an exclusive for you. Only the cast and crew know this so far, but upon completion of the first one, we will have a short theatrical run. It'll be here in Michigan, and anybody who wants to join us can join us. So we will have a short theatrical run. We're going to have a red carpet event. We're going to, whole cast and crew should be there. If they're not, I'm sorry. I apologize in right now. But I know I'm thinking that's that overachiever in me. I'm thinking ahead. But I like to have all my ducks in a row because I don't want that, game of duck, duck, goose to happen, because at the end of the day, it's never good for the duck or the goose.
Sure. I get what you're saying. That would be really cool. I always love it when an indie project has a premiere, because those are so fun. I mean, you book out a theater, you have people come in, take pictures, do the red carpet treatment. It's always a fun time. And sometimes, little really memorable things happen during those. And I really hope that you guys get the chance to do that and have a real fun and memorable experience. Clearly, you're not doing it for the money, because we all know there's no money in indie films. I was talking to Tom Toohey the other week, and he told me a joke. He said, how do you make a small fortune in indie movies? Start out with a large fortune.
It's true.
All right. Well, I apologize for all these lagging issues we're having. I really hope that this thing's not all fucked up at the end. But
No need
I'm
to apologize,
I'm gonna muscle through it. All right, Josh. So since I'm breaking new ground here, I'd like an exclusive. Tell me something that hasn't been made public yet about Not There.
Unfortunately, because we are very early into this project, out of respect for the cast and crew, and I don't mean no disrespect, I unfortunately have to stay mum on everything for now. But just, I guess you're just going to have to wait and see.
Hey, man. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm not going to say I deserve it, but I am going to say I'm just going to sit here until you change your mind.
Oh, you're going to be waiting there for quite a while, my friend. Quite a while.
Well, I'll have you know that I can be very patient.
As can I. Noah just went with it brought through the door leading downstairs. The stark contrast between the two rooms was impressive. The other rooms contained people.
What? You can't just stop there. What happens next?
Yeah. Oh, it's Lisa's book. It's on Amazon. I'll send you a link. You can buy it and read it.
Yes, I know it's too late. I want it that way. Tell me why ain't nothing but all right. Heartache. What is the profession of the father of Mark Lewis in Peeping Tom from 1960?
Psychologist.
How do you know all these? Can you see these from here?
No. I'm getting kind of hungry, man. Can we break for dinner?
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry myself. Meet back here in an hour?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
2 hours later.
Hey, thanks for coming back.
Hey,
Hey,
dinner was good.
excellent. I'm getting kind of tired now. I got to get up early, so can we just wrap this up?
Sure.
All right, let's jump into the lightning round. I have a handful of questions that I like to ask the people, and I kind of modify them based on what I have here. Whether you're an actor or a director, or in your case, a writer, podcaster, whatever else is in there, pasta enthusiast,
Overachiever.
overachiever. um, out of your experiences so far, what would you say has been your most challenging experience?
Ooh. All right. Most challenging experience is getting the perfect timing for everything to kind of start clicking.
Scheduling, huh? Weird. I've heard this before. Like it's a common problem with a lot of people. uh, um, what would you say has been one of your most rewarding experiences?
Getting to know the cast and crew.
Fantastic. That does sound like fun. It's a very intimate experience, I guess. You know, it's like you're going to work on a
Yeah.
project together, and then you're gonna get to know them one at a time, and then you're going to work on this project. You're going to build some great relationships.
Oh yeah, that's my hopes.
Yeah. What would you consider to be the most fun thing about what you do?
The most fun thing is I get to write down how people die and not have to go to prison about it.
Fair enough. You get to live out your fantasies on the page.
There you go.
Yeah. So given your past experiences and maybe ambitions for the future, do you have any dream projects you'd like to work on?
Oh, most definitely. And I've already started writing and it's a zombie film.
Nice. I love a good zombie film.
Oh yeah. Yeah. With zombies, I know this was lightning round, so I'll make this quick. With zombies,
Okay.
there's one of two things. Everyone lives or everyone dies. You like one way or the other.
Okay. I'm a big fan of the everyone dies thing, so I look forward to what you choose.
agree. You ain't got to look for that long.
So, are there any upcoming events that you'd like to plug, or you just want to talk about the NC-17 awards again?
Instead of an event, is it all right if I plug some of the people that are working on this cast?
Absolutely.
First and foremost, I want to plug Amanda Howell. She actually has her second feature getting ready to come out. She's been with me from the beginning. She was in a movie called Flesh, which you can watch on Amazon Prime. It's by Wendigo Pictures. Her second feature is going to be playing, I think, in Motor City Nightmares Film Festival, which is called Bad Things Happen Here.
Okay.
I'd like to 100% let her know she's a ride or die with me, and I'm always with her. So, not part of the cast, I would also like to plug Lisa Fidel. This is her second book, Show Don't Tell. Zombie stuff that you will love, and I'd say buy that one on Amazon, and also buy her first novel, This Just In. Both great books. I would also like to plug Brian Reif. That dude has been in the corner of NC-17 since he got announced as a cast member, and it's not just me, Amanda, but this dude pops for everybody. I mean, he is such a cheerleader for everybody, which is awesome. It's what we need. But I mean, there's just so many people to name. You know, Marley Arnold, Devin Blevins. I mean, Vin Massey. There's just so many people to announce. You got Jaslyn Hetler, who is one of our minors, and then you got Zoe. I cannot pronounce her last name for the life of me, so I'm just going to say Zoe. I don't want to be that guy. But both of them are the minors, and both of them are the minors in the project. And to me, stepping stones is the foundation of a great life, and this could be a good stepping stone. They're phenomenal, and they already have done stuff. But yeah, other than that, everybody who's involved with NC-17 in front of the camera, behind the camera, even with the podcast, everyone deserves their props. This is for them. This ain't from me.
That's fantastic. Well, I certainly hope that they love working on the project as much as you love having them there. So what would you say is the best way for people to keep up to date with what you have going on?
All right, so you can go. We have a Not There movie page on Facebook. You can go on there. I got to post more on there. I haven't really been doing it. I'm bad Rastafarian. Go to my Facebook, Josh Wynn. Go to YouTube. I'm doing an entire series of interviewing everybody that's part of the cast and the crew. And just reach out to me on Facebook, Josh Wynn. And if you want future details and stuff like that, feel free. And if you're an actor, actress, or anything, that self-plug, if you want to come on to the show and just talk movies or promote your stuff, feel free.
Fantastic. Well, I'm probably going to take a lot of that information and link it in the description of this video. That way people can just listen to this and go look at the description and follow a link to go right to exactly what you were talking about. So I'm going to try very hard to make that happen. And I want to thank you again for coming on and for being so cool to one of your fellow podcasters.
It's a brotherhood. It's a family. Actually, not even just a brotherhood. It's a family. That's what we should always do, lift each other up. What you see on camera is who you see in real life. If you get the chance, if you see me walk up, hey, hello, I'm that kind of person. So,
yeah,
I want to thank you for having me, though.
Oh, you're very welcome, sir. And I just want to say on my way out of here, you don't need a big budget to make a badass movie. And cut!